Listen to me carefully, child of God. This message is not for everyone. If you play with darkness, mock the things of the Spirit, or treat God lightly, you should not be here. Only those who truly seek the Most High, only the ones who feel that quiet pull in their soul, are meant to hear what I am about to say. If you are still watching, it is because heaven allowed this message to find you at the perfect time. This is a word for the chosen and for the strongest among them. Before we go deeper, I want you to seal your agreement in the Spirit. If you feel this speaking to you, comment 777 right now as a sign that you know this message is for you. Subscribe to Chosen in Life. Tap the bell icon so you do not miss what heaven is releasing next. And share this video with another child of God who needs to wake up. Now, Chosen One, stay with me until the end. Chosen One, listen closely. When I say, the strongest chosen one, I am not speaking about ego titles or who looks the most spiritual on the outside. I am speaking about those whose spirit has been tempered in fire, whose heart has been broken and rebuilt by God Himself, and whose obedience has been forged in the hidden place. Many are called, few are chosen, and among the chosen there is a remnant inside the remnant. These are the ones heaven can trust with heavier battles and greater assignments. The strongest chosen one is not always the loudest voice in the room. They are often the quiet, observing soul in the corner who sees what others ignore and feels what others cannot sense. From childhood, they felt different, like they did not fully belong to the world around them. While others were comfortable blending in, they carried an invisible weight, a strange knowing that their life would not be ordinary. They might have been mocked as too sensitive, too deep, or too serious. But that sensitivity was spiritual radar, not weakness. You may remember being the one who saw the brokenness in your family before anyone else. You may have felt darkness in atmospheres, heaviness in certain places, confusion in people's words when their spirit did not match their mouth. You may have cried without knowing why, feeling burdens that did not logically belong to you. These are signs of spiritual rank. The strongest chosen ones are often born with a higher sensitivity to the unseen because their assignment requires sharper discernment. Yet the world did not celebrate this. Many of the strongest chosen grew up feeling misunderstood, rejected, or even cursed. But hear me, rejection was not a curse. It was a filter. God used rejection to keep you from being formed by the wrong voices. He allowed doors to close so your spirit would not be caged inside environments that could not carry who you are becoming. The strongest chosen ones go through training. Others do not understand. While some people live comfortably in spiritual sleep, you are thrown into battle early. Strange warfare shows up in your life. Attacks come in patterns. This is not because you are weak. It is because you are dangerous to darkness. The enemy identified your potential before you did, and decided you must be broken, discouraged, and silenced. Look at the rhythm of your life. How many times have you survived what should have destroyed you? The strongest chosen ones are standing after storms that would have killed others spiritually. This is spiritual evidence of rank. Strength is not proven in easy days. It is proven in the days where you pray with tears, worship with a heavy heart, and choose God even when you feel abandoned. You have also noticed that your conscience is different. You cannot sin comfortably. Where others make excuses easily, you feel conviction quickly. This is not God being harsh with you. This is God protecting His investment inside you. The strongest chosen ones are disciplined more strictly because what they carry is more costly. The hidden training of the strongest chosen ones often looks like loneliness. There were seasons when God allowed everyone to walk away so you would finally hear His voice clearly. At times, it felt like punishment, but it was separation. In those quiet nights, when no one answered your calls and no one understood your tears, heaven was teaching you how to walk with God as your closest companion. You might have been kept away from certain friendships, relationships, or paths that looked attractive. Listen to me, that was divine protection, not failure. God closed some doors, not because you were unworthy, but because you were too valuable to be wasted there. Another mark of the strongest chosen one is the weight of compassion they carry. Even after betrayal, they still feel called to love. This is why people come to you with their pain, their secrets, their questions. That is the Spirit of God resting on you, strengthening you to comfort those you are called to. The strongest chosen ones also wrestle with a sense of too big inside. They look at ordinary life and feel a quiet restlessness, like they were born for more than just chasing money, attention, or survival. This restlessness is not greed, it is calling. You may have tried to drown it with distraction, entertainment, or busyness, but it always returns. That restlessness is heaven, knocking. Do not confuse spiritual rank with worldly rank. The strongest chosen one may not be rich, famous, or widely liked. But in the Spirit, when they speak, things shift. When they pray, chains break. The unseen world knows who they are, long before the visible world acknowledges them. If, as you listen, your memories, your wounds, your strange life patterns are lining up with these words, it is not by accident. You are beginning to see yourself as heaven has always seen you. You are not crazy. You are not weak. You are not too much. You are a vessel that has been tested, crushed, and preserved for a bigger story. Your difference has always been your evidence. Your battles have been your classroom. Your tears have been your anointing oil. From this moment on, stop calling yourself weak because you feel tired. Recognize that the very fact you are still here, still seeking God, still hungry for truth, is proof that you are among the strongest of His chosen. Chosen one, you are not imagining this. The pull you feel, the sense that your life is wrapped in a story bigger than you, the way certain words, dreams, and signs seem to follow you everywhere. This is not coincidence. This is prophecy breathing over your life. The prophecy is real, and you are standing inside it right now. From the beginning, God has always worked through a remnant, a small group set apart for specific assignments in dark times. The prophets of old spoke of people who would rise with light, discernment, and uncompromising devotion when confusion covered the nations. Heaven already knew your name when they were spoken. Before you saw battles, before you felt loneliness, your life was already written into a divine script. Think about your journey. How many times have you felt like you were waiting for something without knowing what it was? That is the mark of someone living under prophecy. Your life has had a strange rhythm, delays that made no sense, sudden shifts, divine interruptions. Every time you tried to settle for less than your calling, something broke down. That was not bad luck. That was the prophecy refusing to let you stay small. The word over your life is bigger than your personal comfort. It is connected to bloodlines, territories, and people you have not met yet. Some of the battles you fought did not start with you. They started generations before you. Patterns of poverty, addiction, broken relationships, spiritual confusion. These cycles were allowed to run until God raised someone in the family line who would not bow, would not break, and would not surrender to darkness. Very often, that person is the strongest chosen one. That person may be you. You have likely felt like the odd one in your environment, the one who questions what everyone else accepts. This is a sign that prophecy has singled you out. Many of you have had dreams that felt more real than reality. You have seen things in the spirit, storms, doors, battles, paths, faces, maybe even numbers or symbols that repeat. This is part of prophetic training. Your spirit has been receiving instructions, previews, and warnings. Some of you have experienced moments where a verse, a phrase, or a message felt like it was written solely for you. Tears came without permission. This is how living prophecy works. It finds you in ordinary moments and reminds you that you are anything but ordinary. When God keeps repeating the same message through different people, different places, and different seasons, He is confirming your assignment. Even the signs you see around you are often part of this. When you keep seeing the same confirmations, the same words, the same scriptures, the same numbers, it is heaven tapping you on the shoulder. For some of you, 777 has appeared in ways you could not ignore. If, as you listen right now, your spirit feels that familiar burning, I want you, just once more, to comment 777 as a sign that you recognize the prophecy over your life is real, and you choose to agree with it. The prophecy resting over the strongest chosen ones is time-sensitive. We are not in a casual era. Confusion is celebrated. Darkness is normalized. Truth is mocked. Yet even in this, there is a rising of quiet, hidden warriors. People like you who feel a holy discomfort with the way things are. You are not called merely to survive this time. You are called to influence it because of prophecy. Some doors you begged for had to close. You called it heartbreak, but in the spirit, it was redirection. The strongest chosen ones must learn to see no as protection, not rejection. You are also noticing that time feels different now. What you tolerated before, you cannot tolerate anymore. This is a sign that the prophecy is moving from promise into activation. There is a shift when the word over your life changes from one day to now. You begin to feel urgency. Heaven is drawing a line in the sand, and your spirit feels it. Part of the fulfillment of prophecy is your agreement. God will not force you to walk in what was spoken over you. The strongest chosen ones are those who, even trembling, still say yes. They lay down their timelines, fantasies, and pride, and they pray, "Use me as you planned, not as I imagined." Prophecy is not magic. It does not bypass process. It reveals what is possible if you align with heaven. The fact that you are hearing these words right now is itself prophetic. This is not entertainment. This is a summons. Fulfillment will not look the same for every chosen one. For some, it will mean leading visible movements. For others, it will mean transforming their bloodline, raising children with spiritual clarity, healing the broken, or interceding in secret where no camera will ever see them. In heaven's eyes, obedience in the hidden place can carry as much weight as obedience on a public stage. The measure is not visibility. The measure is faithfulness. Whatever shape your assignment takes, there will come a moment when your past suddenly makes sense. The betrayals, the warfare, the isolation, the strange timing of events. You will see that nothing was wasted, even sins and failures. Once surrendered, become testimonies that carry authority. Chosen one, feel the weight of this truth. The prophecy over your life is not waiting for a distant future. It is unfolding now. Every day you choose alignment, you step deeper into it. Heaven is calling you to stop doubting the signs, to stop calling yourself crazy, to stop shrinking who you are just to make others comfortable. You are a carrier of something ancient, spoken long before you understood it, and meant to manifest in this generation. The prophecy is real, and it is calling you higher. Stay sensitive, stay teachable, stay in the presence of God. You are not late, you are not behind. Believe it, agree with it, prepare your life to carry it. Let me speak to the part of you that is tired but still standing. You have wondered many times, why is my life like this? Why does it feel like I get hit harder than other people? You look around and see others living casually, and somehow things seem to work out for them. Meanwhile, you try to do right. You try to seek God, and yet storms keep visiting your house. Hear me clearly. This is not because you are cursed. It is because you are carrying more weight in the spirit than you realize. The strongest chosen ones are trained in fire, not comfort. You faced spiritual attacks before you even had language to describe them. As a child, you sensed darkness in places, felt unsafe around certain people, or woke up from heavy dreams. Look back at your family line. Very often, the strongest chosen one comes from a bloodline full of patterns: broken marriages, addiction, poverty, sudden deaths, spiritual confusion. You were born into a battlefield, not a playground, because you are the one called to break those cycles. The battle around you has been intense. When you decided, even unconsciously, that the dysfunction stops with you, the war escalated. Your relationships have likely carried unusual pain. People you trusted suddenly turned against you. Friends disappeared when you needed them most. You poured love into the wrong hearts, and they shattered you in return. Sometimes the deepest betrayals came from those you would have defended with your own life. These were not random tragedies. They were part of the refining. The fire you survived taught you to recognize counterfeit connections, to stop giving access to those who only drain and never pour back, and to depend on God more than on human validation. The strongest chosen ones often carry a story of isolation. There were seasons when you could not explain why you felt so alone, even in a room full of people. You could sense that no one really understood the weight you were carrying. Invitations slowed down, calls stopped coming. People labeled you distant, cold, or too different. But in the spirit, heaven was pulling you away from noise so that your ears could tune to the voice of God. Solitude became your classroom, and tears became your prayers. Many of your battles have not been visible. Outside, you may have smiled, worked, served, and looked fine. Inside, you were fighting waves of fear, anxiety, or sadness that made no logical sense. Attacks on your mind came in cycles: thoughts of giving up, thoughts of unworthiness, thoughts that no one would care if you disappeared, tried to settle in your soul. These mental storms were not just mood swings. They were assaults designed to shut down a dangerous soul before it fully awakens. But even in your lowest moments, something in you refused to die. Your finances may have been under siege as well. Money slipped through your hands. Every time you tried to save, an unexpected crisis demanded it. Every time you tried to step forward, something broke. Someone needed help, or a door suddenly closed. The enemy wanted you exhausted and distracted, so you would not have the energy to focus on your spiritual assignment. Yet somehow, even when you did not know how, you made it through. Bills got paid just in time. Help appeared from unexpected places. The fire you survived was not only external, it was internal. You wrestled with questions. Why did God allow this? If I am chosen, why do I feel so broken? There were nights when you prayed and heard nothing back, days when the heavens felt silent. You watched others share testimonies of quick breakthroughs while you lived through long seasons of waiting. That waiting was not punishment. It was deep work. God was stretching your capacity, building patience, and teaching you to trust Him beyond your feelings. Notice how, over time, the fire changed you. You see through people faster now. You sense danger earlier. You are less impressed by appearances, more focused on spirit. What used to tempt you easily no longer has the same power. Where you once reacted in emotion, you now pause, discern, and respond with wisdom. This is not random maturity. This is the fruit of your battles. You did not come out of the fire empty-handed. You came out with discernment, authority, and a spiritual backbone that cannot be bought or faked. The intensity of your warfare is proportional to the impact of your calling. The enemy does not waste heavy weapons on harmless targets. Every time you refuse to give up, every time you chose forgiveness over bitterness, Every time you got back up after a fall, you were proving that you are one of the strongest. You may have noticed that when you try to live a double life, half in light, half in darkness, you are torn apart inside. Compromise feels more painful to you than to those around you. Others sin and sleep fine. You try the same thing, and your spirit screams. This is because you are not built like them. The covenant over your life will not let you rest in places beneath your calling. The strongest chosen ones are corrected quickly because much has been entrusted to them. Even your body may carry the marks of the fire. Sickness, sudden fatigue, mysterious attacks on your health, all appearing at strategic times when you were close to breakthrough. Yet, again and again, recovery came. Strength returned. You rose when you thought you were finished. The fire has also purified your desires. The things you pray for now are different from what you cried for years ago. You used to ask mainly for escape and comfort. Now you find yourself asking for wisdom, clarity, strength, and alignment with God's will. That shift is a mark of maturity. The strongest chosen ones eventually stop begging to be taken out of the fire and start asking to be refined through it. They begin to see suffering not as the end of their story, but as the shaping of their assignment. I want you to notice something else: the people who are drawn to you. Broken hearts find you. Confused souls come to you for advice. Strangers feel safe opening up to you. They sense that you understand pain on a deeper level. This is because your battles have carved out space inside you for compassion. The fire you survived burned away shallow judgment and replaced it with the ability to love people in their mess without losing your standards. You can speak truth with grace because you know what it is like to be wounded and still loved by God. Do not romanticize suffering. God does not delight in your pain, and you are not called to chase suffering for its own sake. The purpose of the fire was never to destroy you. It was to reveal you. It exposed the weakness that needed healing, the ties that needed cutting, the lies that needed replacing with truth. It stripped you down to the core of who you are in God so that when He raises you, you will stand on a solid foundation, not on illusions. When you look at your life and see a long list of battles, do not only see loss. See training, see preparation, see evidence that heaven has been investing heavily in you. You are not behind. You are not disqualified. The fire you survived is the very reason you will have the strength, the wisdom, and the authority to walk into the next season of your calling. Chosen one, wipe your eyes, straighten your back, and recognize who you have become. You are strong because you kept moving while carrying pain. The battles that tried to bury you will become the testimony that sets others free. And this is why your battles were harder than others, because what is coming out of you will be greater than anything you have walked through. Chosen one, you have not survived everything you have lived through just to go back to an ordinary life. There is a reason heaven kept you when others were lost. You are not just chosen to endure. You are chosen to carry a mantle and fulfill a mission that stretches beyond your personal story. A mantle is not just a title or a gift. It is a spiritual responsibility placed on your shoulders by God. It is the weight of an assignment that must be completed. Many people want gifts, power, and recognition. Few understand the cost of a mantle. The strongest chosen ones carry mantles that press on their spirit, that do not let them rest in compromise, that call them to higher standards even when no one is watching. Look at your life carefully. What burdens never leave you? What injustice keeps you awake? These are clues. The mission on your life is often hidden inside the ache of your heart. If you cannot stand to see broken families, your mantle may be to restore homes and bloodlines. If you are moved by the lost and confused, your mantle may be as a guide, a teacher, a prophetic voice calling people back to God. The strongest chosen ones are often raised as breakers of patterns. You were sent into your family line to end cycles that tormented generations before you. Your mantle gives you the authority to declare, "It ends with me." You were drafted into a war that started before you, and your mission is to close doors that were opened long before your birth. But your mantle is not limited to your family. Many of you are called to shape the spiritual climate around you. Wherever you go, things shift. Your presence brings peace. Where there was chaos, conviction where there was carelessness. This is the mantle you carry. The strongest chosen ones are spiritual thermostats, not thermometers. They do not simply report what is happening, they change it. Some of you are called as intercessors. Your mission is hidden but powerful. You shift outcomes through your petitions, your tears, your warfare in the secret place. Others are called to teach and to speak. When you open your mouth, people listen differently. Your mantle is to bring understanding where there has been deception. Some of you are called as healers, not just in the physical sense, but in the emotional and spiritual dimension. Your mission is to bind up the wounds of those who have been crushed by life. There are also those whose mission is to enter systems, business, media, education, government, and carry light into dark structures. You are a gatekeeper. Whatever your specific mission looks like, there is one thing all the strongest chosen ones have in common. They are not allowed to live small, self-centered lives. Your life is an instrument. This is why hiding no longer fits you. Many of you have tried to shrink yourselves to avoid responsibility. That must end. Your mantle will not sit quietly just because you are scared. Fear and false humility are two of the biggest enemies of your mission. True humility is knowing you are nothing without God, yet refusing to bury what He put inside you. Your mantle will demand decisions. Some habits must go. Some relationships cannot continue. Some environments will no longer feel right. Do not resist this. When God begins to separate you from what drains you, He is making room for what will build you. To walk in your mission, you must develop discipline. Spend time in God's presence. Let your mind be renewed by His Word. Train your spirit to recognize His voice quickly. Do not wait for a grand moment to start. Your mission begins with small acts of obedience. Speak when God nudges you to speak. Pray when He places someone on your heart. If you cannot obey in private, you will not suddenly become obedient on a big platform. Understand also that your mantle is not meant to crush you. The same Spirit that called you will strengthen you. On days when you feel unworthy, remember, you are a vessel, not the source. Chosen one, you are here to carry something this world desperately needs. You are a living answer to prayers that were prayed before you even existed. There are people tied to your obedience, people waiting on the other side of your yes. When you rise into your mantle, they receive permission to rise into theirs. Stop calling yourself just anything. You are a carrier of a divine assignment. Walk like someone sent. Think like someone trusted. Live like someone whose days are precious and whose presence has purpose. The strongest chosen ones are really here to disrupt darkness, to heal what has been broken, to restore what has been lost, and to point hearts back to the one who chose them. Now, chosen one, I will not speak to you softly here. You have been comforted, you have been affirmed. Now you must be instructed. The strongest chosen ones cannot afford to live like everyone else. Your steps are watched, your words are weighed, and your choices either strengthen your mantle or weaken it. These are survival instructions for your calling. From this point on, you must guard your atmosphere with intention. You cannot allow constant noise, chaos, and confusion to fill your inner world. Be careful what you feed your spirit through music, shows, conversations, and scrolling. The strongest chosen are more sensitive by design, so corruption sticks to you quicker. When you feel your peace draining, your discernment foggy, Treat it like a spiritual emergency. You must also become very selective with your connections. Not every friendly face is a safe spirit. Some people were sent to your life, and some were sent against your life. Pay attention to what happens to your spirit after you spend time with someone. The strongest chosen ones cannot keep covenant with people who normalize sin, mock holiness, or constantly pull them back into old versions of themselves. Love them, pray for them, but do not join them. Distraction is as dangerous to you as outright sin. The enemy knows that if he cannot get you to fall openly, he will try to keep you busy, entertained, and spiritually numb. Your time must be handled like a weapon. Set aside portions of your day where your spirit is fed, your mind is renewed, and your assignment is advanced. You must also confront your tendency to isolate in an unhealthy way. Yes, there are seasons where God separates you, but permanent spiritual isolation is a trap. You need at least a small circle, even if it is just one or two people who fear God and can speak into your life. At the same time, do not run to crowds for validation. When decisions must be made, bring them first before the Spirit. Watch your mouth. The authority on your life means your words carry weight. Stop agreeing with the enemy's script by saying, "I am cursed. I am unlucky. Nothing ever works for me." The strongest chosen must learn to prophesy life even when they feel surrounded by death. Speak God's promises over your mind. Bless your path. Bless your body. Bless your assignment. You must also guard your heart from bitterness. Forgiveness is not a feeling. It is an act of obedience. You release people into God's hands so your own heart can stay free. The strongest chosen ones cannot carry heavy mantles with a heart full of old grudges. Be very careful with compromise. Your rank does not allow you to play on the edge of sin and assume you will not fall. Little compromises become big chains when the Spirit convicts you about something. Do not argue, do not delay, obey quickly. Every time you say yes to conviction, your discernment sharpens. You must also take your body seriously. Rest is not laziness, it is strategy. A depleted vessel cannot pour for long. Do not chase platforms. You are called to worship God and obey His instructions, whether or not they place you in front of people. Seek depth, not popularity. Seek purity, not performance. Let God open doors in His timing. In this season, you must also learn to recognize divine urgency. There will be moments where God presses you to move quickly. Delayed obedience is often quiet disobedience. When heaven says now, do not answer later. Surround your days with prayer. Talk to God about everything. Prayer keeps your spirit aligned and your pride low. Hold on to hope. These warnings are not meant to scare you, but to protect you. You are needed. Walk carefully, but do not walk in fear. Walk with reverence, aware of the weight you carry, but also with confidence. The same God who chose you will keep you if you stay close to Him. Chosen one, the time of spiritual games is over for you. You cannot unknow who you are now. From here on, every step you take either honors your calling or runs from it. This is how the strongest chosen must walk now, awake, disciplined, humble, guarded, and fully aligned with the one who marked them from the beginning. Chosen one, if you are still here, it is because your spirit recognizes this word as yours. You have walked through fire and survived battles that tried to erase you. Yet you are still standing. That alone is proof that the hand of God has been over your life from the beginning. From this day forward, I want you to see yourself differently. You are not a mistake, not an accident, not too much. You are a carrier of a mantle, a bearer of prophecy, one of the strongest among the chosen. Your scars are not shame, they are seals of what you have overcome. Right now, I speak blessing over you. May your mind be cleared from confusion, your heart be healed from old wounds, and your steps be guided with divine precision. May every chain that has tried to hold you beneath your calling lose its grip. May clarity, courage, and holy boldness rise in you like never before. From this moment, walk as if heaven has sent you, because it has guarded your spirit. Honor your assignment, and do not return to the smallness you were rescued from. When doubt whispers, remember this word. When warfare rises, remember who you are. If this has spoken to your soul, share it, rewatch it, and stay connected. The journey of the strongest chosen does not end here. This is only the beginning of you fully walking as who you were always meant to be.